Okay, so I'm going to just quickly show you guys how to get in and edit your websites very easily. It's set up with Thrive Themes, which has a feature called Thrive Architect, and it just basically allows you to edit the elements of a web page very quickly and very easily. So the first thing you do is that you go to login. So you can see here I'm going to the Parramatta site. So if your domain there, you can see that in this case it's guitarlessonsparramatta.com.au. You then just add that login extension, and that will take you to the login page, which will come up looking like this, where you need to put your username or email address and your password in, and then you click login, and then what that'll do is take you to the dashboard. So if I just go here, and we'll have a look at the dashboard. Once you enter the dashboard, you can then go back to the website. So here, this is all this here, and we'll have a closer look at that in a little bit. But if you go back to the website now that you've logged in, it's going to look like this. So you've got this kind of layout of the website. So if we then hit this, you can see that these little features are at the top here. These are all editing features which only appear when you're logged into your website. But to edit this page, you can see it's just still a normal web page. You need to click on Edit with Thrive Architect, and what that will do is take you to a version of editing here, which I've already opened here. So that's what I've got here. You can see I can touch all those elements, and I can edit and change them. So for instance here, if I want to change that to Learn to Play Guitar Online instead of in Parramatta, I'm just going to go there and then come down here to where it says Save Work, and then I click on that. That will update the website. So now if I come back, actually okay, all right, so something went wrong there. Let me just log in again. I think it's because we logged in a second time. I'd already logged in earlier, so let me just try. I'm just going to refresh the page here to see what happens. Okay, so that's there. So I'm going to hit Thrive Architect and do this again. And it's good that you see this, because you can see that sometimes things do go wrong, but most of the time it's pretty good. And it takes about 10 seconds to load up. So you can see there now. So that's the page there. So I'm going to now change that. We'll see if this works this time. Learn to Play Guitar Online, and then save. Okay, so that now, it says all changes are saved. So now when I come and refresh the page here, that's why I like to have the two pages open, so I can see that the changes are actually working. That's there. Now let's say here I want to widen that a little bit. So the contact form is, I think, too wide. Okay, so I come back here to the where I'm editing it, and you can see there's this little line here, and now I can just pull that over a little bit and change the percentage. That makes the contact form a little bit smaller and increases the size of this area here. So again, save my work, and we should see that change reflected here in the page. All right, there we go. Now if you want to get to a page like your online page, because there's been a request to change the button, some of you with your Zoom buttons, you need to change them. So let me show you very easily how you can do that. So we want to go back to the dashboard, this here, and you want to go to Pages. And just click on there, and that'll take you into the pages of your website. And you can see here there's the online there. So what I'm going to do in this case is I want to edit it, and I want to edit it with Thrive Archive, but I also want to be able to see it so I can test it. So what I do again is I'm going to hold the command button down, and that might be different if you're using a P, like a Windows PC, but on a Mac it's a command, whatever the equivalent is. Whoops, I'll just go back here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to click on View first, so I can see the website, the page, sorry. So hang on, let me go back. That's the home page, sorry, I'm clicking on the wrong page. I'll just cancel that. So we want the online page, and we're going to click on View, and there's the page there. So now I want to make some changes to this. I want to edit a little bit. So I'm going to hit here on Edit Thrive Archive, again opening another window there. So it can get a bit confusing when you start opening lots of windows, but just bear with me. So that opens up that page. Now here is the button. First of all, let me say, let me just edit this a little bit. So I want to bring it down. See how it's quite close to the top there, and it's a little bit, because there's some things behind it, it's a little bit harder to read. So I'm going to go down here to layout and position, and this here allows me to increase the margin, the top margin there. So just to bring it down a little bit lower, so it sort of centers it a little bit more. All right, again, I'll save my work. It's good to save your work regularly, because if you close the window or something goes wrong, then you're going to lose your change. All right, so here, and you can see this is a button, so I'm going to click on the button there, so it gets the whole button. Just be careful, because there is text in there. If you click on the text, you're not actually on the button, you're on the text within the button. So you've got to click a little bit outside the text there, but still on the button. And so here you can see the layout, there's all the borders with that one, but I'm just going to close that up. And we're going to go up to the main options here, and then down here to target URL. So that's where your Zoom link goes in there. You're just going to paste it in there, and that should do the trick. All right, so that's pretty well it. And once you've made that change, of course, then you can save your work. Like that there, and that should make that change, bringing that margin down lower. Let me just give that a little, there we go. And then you can test your button. It's usually a good idea to test the button. Now, I'm just going to close that window, close that, and just show you a couple of other quick things while we're here in Thrive Archives. So if I go, I'll just close that there. That's the other one. So if you're in here and you want to add something here, let's say you want to put a line of text in somewhere. Over to the right side, you can see it's got here add element. It's that plus sign. So if you click on that, it opens up that window, and then you can see text, image, button, columns, etc. So I'm just going to let's say I want to put in some columns. So I'm going to drag that down there to the bottom there, and that gives me a choice of different types of columns. And it really doesn't matter what you choose in terms of 1/3, 2/3. You just choose the number of columns. So if you want 3 columns, just choose any of those, because you can always adjust them. You can see here they've got those little lines there, so I can move the percentage of those columns to whatever I like. So if I want to have, small columns on the outside around 20%, a big one in the middle, then I can do that. So that allows you then to manipulate that space. Then I can come back here again to that window, and this time let's just say I want to put an image into the center of there. So I just drag that into there, and then you can either choose an image that you've already got. Let's say I choose this one, or you can upload one by clicking on there. All right, so I'm going to click on that, and that'll bring that image into there. Just remember, with images or anything that you're using on your website, that the more that you put on the page, the slower it will be to load. So that's why we keep these pages very minimal, trying to just stick to what is important. Anyway, so there's the image there, and you might say, well, I want it a little bit bigger, and I'm going to make those columns a little bit smaller. So you drag it out like that, and then let's just say you want to put some text in. So you come here and you go there, and you whack some text in, and you say, whatever, welcome to G4, whatever you want to put in there. Now you can put other text boxes, or you can duplicate that. Let's say I want to double up on that, so I can just click here. You can see there's 4 buttons there. The furthest one to the right will delete that box. The next one in will duplicate it. So if I just go like that, you can see that it's just duplicated that box. So that allows you to put different elements in there. And so without going into too much more, you can see that you can just play around with the different elements. You can put a button in, you can put a video in there, you can even put custom HTML, you can add menus, you can put a Google map. That's a Google map there. So yeah, you can just play around with those if you want to try them. A good idea to play with it, if you just want to get used to it, is create a new page, and I'll show you how to do that. Let's just we want to go back to the dashboard. So we're here, and you can see there's a plus sign up here, and then there's page that way, or you can just go down to here, add new page. And so you just add a new page, and you don't add it to your menu, so make sure it doesn't appear. And if you want to know how to make sure your menus don't get corrupted, just go down here, appearance, and then down to menus, and you can go in there, and you can do things there. So I'll show you that in 1 second. But once you've got that, you've created a new page, then and you don't list it in your menu, then you can play around with it. You can test out things and test all the different tools. But just be aware that that page is still public, so it may be found by some people. So just be careful. Don't put anything on it that you don't want people to see. For now, there is a way that you can make it private, but until you know how to do that, then don't worry about. Just be careful about what you put on the page. So if we go down to menus, so under appearance, menus there, what this will do is this is the menu at the top. So this here where you've got home, contact us, that's the menu. So if I go here, you can see it's got home and contact us. So if I want to add something to it, if I wanted to add, say, that online, which I don't because I want that hidden, I would just tick the box there and then I would go add to menu, and that would bring it over to here. Now if I want to get rid of it once it's there, then I can click on the little arrow here and just say remove. So, and this has to be attached to your primary menu because that's what we have. This is the main. This menu, you can create different menus and you can swap them in and out if you like, but you don't need to get that complicated at this point. Keep it simple. All right, so that's pretty well all you need to know for now. So just remember that if you want to change that link on your online page, just go to the page which is under all pages. Just here, go to the online page and go into the page. Like I said, holding the command key down, you can just go to view there, and that will open up that page. And then from there, you go to edit with Thrive Archive. And from there, once that opens up, you can then start to edit those elements. And so you're going to click on the button and you're going to go down to the code there, and then you're going to change it. Okay, hopefully that helps. If you've got any questions, let me know. Thank you.